Goes a whole lot deeper today and for a far more serious reason. Michelle refuses to even meet her daughter Melinda's boyfriend. She won't talk to him, can't even say his name. Why? Well, because she is dating a registered sex offender. Now he says, look, I was just a child at the time. He hates being labeled as a sex offender. He's 26 now. He says he is living the straight and narrow. But Mom Michelle, well, she's scared because Melinda has a 4-year-old daughter, and it was a young girl that he offended against. She's convinced this man is not even almost reformed. Take a look.
My daughter Melinda is dating a registered sex offender, and I'm totally disgusted. That thing that my daughter chooses to date, I cannot refer to by name. It is true that I do refer to it as it. I honestly believe that the it is pursuing my daughter to get to my granddaughter. In my honest opinion, once a sex offender, always a sex offender. About my daughter dating a registered sex offender, I am absolutely 100% without a doubt. Even if Dr. Phill tried to convince me himself that I was wrong, I am not wrong. Not wrong. Not.
If you want to join our conversation today, you can tweet us at Dr. Phill #boyfriend. You can do that right now and be part of this show. And trust me, I'm sure many of you will agree that Michelle has the right to be concerned. Do you feel, and we're referring to him as Jack, do you feel that he's trying to hurt your granddaughter?
Absolutely.
You already think this.
Absolutely.
Not just that he is a potential risk, you think he is an active risk.
Yes. I feel he's grooming my daughter to get her so wrapped up in his that his eye, that's all he's looking at. The end result is, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this.
What's your daughter say about this? I mean, if her priority is her daughter and her daughter's safety, why does she say she's not concerned?
Obviously, to me, my granddaughter is not her priority, and she's not looking out for her safety. The risk is there. How can you assure me that he's not touching my granddaughter? You can't possibly tell me that this 4-year-old granddaughter of mine who sleeps with her mother or somebody 7 days a week is not crawling in bed with that creep and my daughter.
You don't say his name. In fact, you've got a list of names for him. You call him bleep, it, scumbag, pedophile, rapist, child molester, nameless, worthless, creep, disgusting, pig. You call him that piece of that thing you're seeing. So you have no respect, no
Absolutely
regard
none.
for this individual in any way.
No.
Have you met him?
Absolutely not, because it would be violent.
Well, Melinda says the real issue is not her boyfriend. It's her mother's absolute total need to dominate, control, and dictate every aspect of her life. Take a look.
I don't feel that my boyfriend should be on the sex offender registry. He was just a kid. I have a connection with him that I feel my mom would never understand. I trust him with all my heart. I just don't get that vibe from him that he would ever harm anyone intentionally. My family keeps asking me to choose between him and them, and I keep telling them that it's everybody or nobody. I want my mom to know that I do love him. He loves me. We're not breaking up. There's just no way.
What we have here is someone that has been convicted of a felony for offending sexually against a young girl. You have a young girl. Did you think that through?
Yes.
And tell me, give me that thought process.
I know he was wrong with what he did. In the family, a lot of us have dealt with sexual abuse in some sort of way. I just feel like he was a kid. He was experimenting, probably.
Are you trivializing this? Are you minimizing this? And underreacting to it? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think so.
So why do you say this is just about control on her part? Does she not have a legitimate concern here?
She does, and I completely understand where she's coming from. But she's taking a thing that 2 children did.
They were at least 5 years apart. What I try to explain to you, developmentally, 5 years apart. 8 and a 13-year-old. A 13-year-old certainly has a lot more experience, no matter what it is, than an 8-year-old child.
Okay, but it's not just about him. That's not everything. It's the fact that you control everything.
I have a copy of the police report here. It says the following, the things that he was charged with. 1 count of rape, 1 count of sexual abuse, and 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child. And the police report says that his offenses against this child were from the ages when she was between 8 and 11, across 4 years. Not just an impulse, experimenting one day, but 4 years. He was 13 to 16. I did the math. Those were the ages. One was prepubescent, the other was postpubescent. Now, there is a distinction there. I just want to be sure you understand what he was charged with, and he was in jail for 7 months and then made a plea deal. Mm-hmm. Okay? Do you get that?
Yes.
Does that concern you?
No.
When he was released, he is a registered sex offender for life, stage 2. Mm-hmm. There are 3 stages that these predators are categorized in. And stage 1 is that they are a low risk of reoffending. Stage 2 is that there is a moderate risk of reoffending. Stage 3 is that there is a high risk of reoffending. So he is at least a moderate risk, according to the categorization system, of repeat offending.
It's my understanding he's stage 2 because of his other past of being involved in drugs and alcohol and getting in trouble.
Those are risk factors. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Because if somebody impairs their consciousness, if they impair their ability to make a decision, and they have a history of offending against others, those 2 things combined do make them a high risk.
He's not that person anymore.
Right. Well, and you could be right about that. I don't know. I want to meet and talk to him. I want to see what he has to say. Now, before we go to break, I want to ask the question to those tweeting today: how would you react to your daughter dating a registered sex offender who says he's reformed? Michelle has never met Melinda's boyfriend. She has never even spoken to him. And later, for the first time, she is going to meet him. She is going to hear what he has to say. But first, Melinda's sister says there's much more to this story, and she's going to join us next.
If we don't get help, I know I will become physically violent. I will seek out that opportunity. When I know that disgusting pig is with my daughter, I will eventually violently react.
A few months back, my family ganged up on me, told me how they were conspiring to get rid of my boyfriend from my life. They also had told me that I was a bad mom, and they were working on ways to take my daughter away from me.
I would do almost anything to get my daughter and my granddaughter away from it.
That night changed my view of my family, and I can't look at them the same.
Well, that was Melinda. She is a single mom with a 4-year-old daughter who has been dating a registered sex offender for 10 months. Her mother, Michelle, is not even almost happy about it. But Melinda's younger sister, Dawn, says their mom is just overreacting. Why do you say that?
I feel like she doesn't give my sister the chance to just live how she wants to live, and it's her relationship, you know? And I don't approve of the nasty name she calls him. Yes, I was abused too. And she never calls my abuser a pig, a monster. And she could totally vocalize that to the other person. Why is it always He's the nasty one. He's the monster.
Do you have a double standard here?
No.
But are you hearing that she's saying, I feel like there's a double standard? She has all of this passion and venom against someone that might offend against her granddaughter, but doesn't seem to have that same vitriol against the person that offended against her.
Right. The
That's
person
a
that
double
offended
standard.
against her is not in any of our lives, is not around. He's gone. He's out.
That's false.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's going on in this dynamic here. And people can have different opinions, but you don't have different opinions of factual occurrences. And when people lie to me, I am done. Has the person that offended against your daughter had access to her?
No.
And you say yes. It can't be both.
I'm over that.
Obviously, you're not over
I'm
it.
just
when you're
saying-
openly discussing it now. You are not
I'm just saying
over it.
the bigger picture is
Listen, I am so sorry that this has happened to the three of you. I mean that in all sincerity. That's not a new normal. You don't, come on, this isn't something that you just say, well, you know, it happened to me, it's no big deal. That you don't just begin to talk about that as though it's normal.
I did everything that I thought was right. I thought I protected my children. I thought I did everything I needed to do to bring them into this world and provide safety and security and a safety net for them and not want history to keep freaking repeating itself. And I'll be damned right now if I'm going to let it continue on to my granddaughter. You seeing this type of individual has made me go back into therapy myself.
Are you doing this to thumb your nose at your mother?
No.
Do you value your daughter?
Yes, I do.
Did you want your daughter?
Originally, when I first found out I was pregnant, no.
Are you a good mother?
I feel I am a very good mother.
Is she a good mother?
I'm sorry, but no, I do not feel you're being a good parent by the choices that you
I want to
continue
get
make.
everything on the table here. You told us, and I quote, Melinda calls her daughter bitch, smacks her in the face, and is mean.
Yep.
she has done that. She has.
True or false?
I have.
And your daughter is 4? And you
But that's
call her
ta-
bitch.
Not to her face.
It's not
I'm
taking
saying,
it out of context. You
and
are so
I'm not the
Mom,
only
let
one
us-
that does it. You guys say that stuff too. It's not just me. It's like you're just being a little bitch right now. It's not like I straight up say, bitch. That's not what I'm doing. And smacking, it's more of a
That's
when
a
she-
lie.
when
I've
she-
seen you haul off and really smack her where it hurts her and she automatically screams and fit.
I'm asking you to be honest with me because I am trying to
know.
help you. And you need to understand that I consider myself to be what is called a mandated reporter. It means I am required by law, if I see, learn of, or know about a situation where a child is being abused, neglected, in danger in any way, I am required on the clock to report that. It is a reportable offense. So I either got to do something to fix the situation, change the situation, alter it in some way, or I am mandated, required to report that.
I don't
And
want
you
to.
need to tell me the truth, people, because I don't like what I'm hearing here,
That isn't
even
true.
a little
The
bit.
last thing that I want to happen is see my granddaughter lose her mother and the family that she's known for
I didn't
4
ask
years.
you what you wanted.
and
I
that
asked you
wasn't
for the
secure.
truth.
The truth is that my daughter can be at times very abusive, emotionally, physically, to her daughter.
Then we've got a registered sex offender that you're dating. Does this person stay at your house?
On the weekends.
He spent the night there. Does he sleep in the bed with you?
And where's
Does she
your daughter?
sleep in the bed with you?
No.
The kids have a sleepover in the living room.
Okay, let's take a break. Michelle talks to Melinda's boyfriend for the first time when we come back.
I have spoken to its probation officer to express how concerned I am. Basically, what I was told by its probation department, that it has lived up to all expectations within his probation. So therefore, There's nothing that they can do.
At the break, you were saying to me what?
That this is getting out of hand.
You said, this is getting out of hand for me. What do you mean?
Because I came here to pretty much tell my mom to back off.
I get that you're like, well, this is getting out of hand. I just wanted you to come in here and smoke my mother off my ass so I can go do what I want to do. But the problem, and I'm not saying that's not a good goal, because she does need to back off. She is too controlling.
I know that I have my own issues.
When she plans birthday parties and things like that while you're at work and can't be there for your daughter, that's not good. That is manipulative.
That's
well,
an absolute lie.
That is what you were doing.
Okay.
It's gonna end up.
But you notice on this card, I've got issue 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's number 4. Time permitting, I'm going to get to you and tell you that you need to back off and let this girl run her own life. But I'm stuck on issue number 1 right now because I think I've got a child endangered here. And it's not just about Jack. Maybe Jack's a good guy. I don't know. I want to talk to him. He's not here because his probation officer wouldn't let him travel. Jack says when he was 13, he was just a curious kid playing doctor, and he's not the monster Michelle thinks he is. Let's take a look at what he has to say, and then we're going to talk to him.
Do not consider myself a registered sex offender. I said I want people to know me as a person, not a label. The relative I abused was younger than me. At the age of 13, me and my victim, we used to hang out a lot all the time. She was 8 years old. She sat on my lap a few times and I actually put my hand on her leg and on her pants. She never told me to stop. I never had her touch me. Touching abuse probably went on for a couple months, but not like every day. It was probably 3 or 4 times. So one day when the relative was in counseling, she brought up the sexual abuse. She made a report saying that I have touched her, and then a year later, another report was made saying that I had sex with her. That was not true. I did not do what I was accused of. I was in jail for almost 7 months. My attorney told me if I didn't take a plea for 10 years of probation and register, that they would send me to prison. So I took the deal. I am not a sex offender. I did it at the age of 13, and I'm paying for it the rest of my life. And like Dr. Phill tell me that I'm not a bad person, it would mean a lot to me.
Well, it would mean a lot to me if he's not a bad person. I hope that's true. We're going to find out in a minute. What's your comment on that? You heard him speak? It's first time you've seen him, first time you've heard him.
Yep, disgusting. I don't think an individual, he's obviously just minimizing what he did to his victim. It's blah, 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 blah. It's like you're a felon. People who are not guilty don't plead guilty.
You said the victim was a willing participant and never tried to stop me or say no.
Are you kidding me? What kind of person?
Hold on, I have absolutely no problem conducting an interview. I'm going to bring Jack up on satellite right now. We're going to talk to Jack. Jack, Dr. Phill, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Linda's mother, Michelle, feels that you are trying to minimize and trivialize what took place and that you believe you, in fact, are not a sex offender.
What I have done in the past was wrong. I have accepted what I have done. I've been to counseling for it. I'm trying to take one day at a time. I would not say that what I did was her fault or my fault. It's something that happened when I was 13. And I go every day, I regret what happened. I'm not the type to hurt anybody.
I don't know how much you understand about psychology, but in psychology, you go through different courses of training. And my particular course of training was in clinical psychology. I will also tell you that once I finished up my training and got my doctorate, I did a year's postdoctoral training in forensic psychology and have worked as an officer of the court to evaluate people like you, to evaluate whether someone is worthy of being around a parent or not, and to know what signs to look for in determining the sincerity of someone and to measure their level of insight and their likelihood of reoffending. And I am troubled by some of the things you're saying here. Don't know you, you could be the nicest guy in the world, I don't know. But what I am interested in is one of the quotes you gave to us, and it is a quote, I will read it verbatim. You said, "The victim was a willing participant and never tried to stop me or say no."
Are you kidding me?
Now, you recall saying that to our producer?
I don't believe I said those exact words.
You said those. The only thing I'm changing is you used her name, which I did delete from the verbatim quote. Other than that, that's what you said, that she was a willing participant and never tried to stop you. You then said, hey, this just happened a few times. It was as playing doctor, which kids do.
No.
You didn't say those things? Did you say those things?
Curious. I do not remember if I said those exact words.
That's bull. What kind of person?
Hold on.
Is
I have
13?
absolutely no problem conducting an interview. And if I do, you're the first one I'll come to.
Thank you.
Okay? Did you or did you not say she was a willing participant?
Yes.
How does that sound when you hear it read back to you?
It sounds terrible, actually. I meant willing participant as in she was there with me. She didn't tell me to stop. She didn't see it a problem. I didn't think it was a problem when I was a child growing up. I didn't know the consequences of it. I didn't know it was wrong.
The police report says this went on for 4 years. 13, 14,
true.
15. I'm just telling you what the police report says.
That is not true at all.
Okay, the police report is wrong.
And no, I'm not saying that the police report is wrong. I'm saying that did not happen for over 4 years.
And you know the number one thing I'm looking for is insight. Do you get it? Do you get the gravity of what took place? And if you try to minimize it or trivialize it, that tells me that you don't get the gravity of what took place. An 8-year-old child, 9-year-old child, 10-year-old child, 11-year-old child does not have the capacity to give consent. That's why they call it statutory rape when an adult has sex with a child, because the child can't give consent because they don't have the mental or emotional capacity to consent. So when you say she was a willing participant, she is prepubescent, you are postpubescent, that is a huge gap. Do you understand that she didn't have the capacity to give consent?
Yes, I do understand
That's
that.
important for me to know that you understand that.
Yes, I do.
So the fact that she didn't stop you or she didn't run away, to blame the victim is absolutely unacceptable.
I am not blaming the victim.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that.
That is not.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. You cannot blame the victim. Now, you were released with conditions of probation, correct?
Yes, I was.
And the conditions of your probation were you were a level 2 sexual predator that has to register as a sex offender for life. You must maintain employment. You can't drink alcohol or do drugs. You must stay away from areas where children congregate. No contact with children under 18 unless they're in the company of at least a 21-year-old and with permission of the supervisor. No contact with your victim. You have to report to local police with a current photo every 3 years. You can use a computer, but you can't do social networking. You got a 9 p.m. curfew Sunday through Thursday and 11 on Friday and Saturday. Have you maintained compliance with the conditions of your probation? Do you maintain that curfew?
Yes, I do.
Do you have permission from your supervisor to be around Melinda's daughter?
Yes, I do.
So you have written permission from your supervisor?
Not written permission. I have verbal permission to come over.
You need to get that in writing, because that probation officer doesn't have the authority to give you verbal permission to do that. If you don't have that in writing, they can roll up in there, yank you out of there, and violate your probation.
Yes.
I'm trying to help you. But you're saying that you're living the straight and narrow at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm.
I got a problem. You know, you're wondering whether or not he is a risk. I don't know whether he's a risk. 43% of sex offenders get rearrested within 3 years. Now, only a small percentage of those are for another sex crime, like 5.1%. And actually, only 3.5% of those that do it with a family member reoffend within that period of time. So the fact is, he's probably pretty darn low risk of offending against your granddaughter and your daughter, just based on statistics. But you are a high risk for going back to jail if you violate your probation, and you've already violated your probation because you have had not one but 2 DWIs.
I had 1 DWI since I've been on probation. My first one was well before being on probation.
You realize that's a violation of your probation?
Yes, it is. I did violate probation for that. And I'm trying to live my life one day at a time, and I'm trying to make the best of my life that I possibly can.
Were you right to be prosecuted for this sexual offense?
If I was able to go down to trial, I would have tried to do what I can to make things right. Because I did get charged as an adult when I was a child for this happening.
Are you a victim here, or are you guilty?
I'm not saying I'm a victim, because I have made that mistake. It's been very hard to be charged as an adult for something that happened when I was a child, to live my life every day as a registered sex offender, and have that over my shoulder. I know what I did was wrong. I've owned up to what I have done. I've gone to counseling. I've tried as much as I can.
So you acknowledge and admit that was wrong, unacceptable, inappropriate, not okay. You get that, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And you're not trying to minimize that or trivialize that?
No. But as I was a child when it happened, I did not know consequences. I did not know that it was wrong.
What do you think about what he's saying?
I still don't hear you acknowledging that you're just portraying yourself like, oh, because of this, because of circumstance, because I was young, because I didn't know any better. You've been always 5 years older. 5 years older.
All right, let's take a break. Melinda says she has no intentions of breaking it off with her boyfriend. I'm going to tell you what I think when we come back. Michelle wrote to me because she is at her wit's end with her daughter, who is dating a registered sex offender. Her daughter is at her wit's end because her mother is controlling and dominating and judgmental about not just this, but everything else that she does. One of the issues I'm talking about is whether or not we as a community should be concerned if a registered sex offender moves into our neighborhood or into our building. And it's really interesting to know that sex abusers typically don't just have one victim. I will show you how many victims they typically have. Is it 10? No. 20? No. 30? No. As many as 40 victims. 70% tend to have between 1 and 9. 20% tend to have between 10 and 40, and then there are those that go beyond. These are folks that don't get caught the first time they do this, generally speaking. So the question becomes, can these people be cured of this disorder? And the answer is generally regarded in the profession to be no, but they can be helped. They can be managed. There are treatments and control efforts that do work. Cognitive behavior therapy works, where you change their thinking. Psychoeducational therapy, which focuses on developing empathy. Pharmacology, standard assessments, where you can tell if they're beginning to move in the wrong direction. Community notification and registry, restrictions on access. Often conditions of probation say you cannot be around children without supervision. And then community integration. Jack, I want to give you the opportunity to say anything you want to say.
I just want everybody to know the mistakes that I made were in my past. I'm doing what I can do with what I have. I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to live with that regret of what happened in everybody else's eyes, trying to accuse me of doing something when I'm trying to do the right thing.
You said you didn't know it was wrong. So at no time in your mind did you ever say to yourself, this is wrong?
I'm not going to say that because I did feel it was wrong.
You said earlier, I didn't know it was wrong. I was just a kid myself. I didn't know it was wrong. Now you say you did know it was wrong. When
it happened, I did not know it was wrong.
Okay.
But I had a feeling that it was.
Did you do it in front of your parents or your other siblings or your friends?
No.
If you didn't know it was wrong, why did you hide it?
I didn't try to hide it.
So, but you didn't do this with your parents sitting there. You didn't do it with any adults around.
No.
So you knew it was wrong. I've always said you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And that insight, the ability to step outside yourself and look at yourself, the ability to be honest with yourself about things is one of the strongest predictors of improvement. I'm looking and wanting to hear you say, Dr. Phill, I didn't get it then, but I get it now. I damn sure get it now. I understand what's the gravity of what took place. I understand what this did to a little girl's life that was still talking about it 10 years later in therapy. I understand that I have possibly scarred her in such a way that it will affect her sexual adjustment, her relationship to men. I've been in enough therapy that I understand that those who have been sexually molested feel devalued. They are often at high risk for promiscuity and drugs and alcohol and poor self-esteem later. I understand that I started a ball rolling that some girl is still paying for today. I get that. I am truly and deeply sorry, and I am devoting the rest of my life to making up for it in some way. That's what I'm looking to hear from you, and that's why I'm asking you those questions.
Yes, I know all that, and I do understand all of that. I have accepted what I did was wrong.
Still to this day, even though you supposedly had therapy, you're still weak and not being honest and really accepting responsibility. I don't think that you understand the impact that you have caused, and I don't think you understand the impact that you're causing this family.
Well, let me ask you this. The things that I've said to you, do those bring some things into clearer focus about the position you need to take?
Yes, it does. As an adult, I know and I accepted of what I did was wrong. I know it was wrong as an adult, but at the age of 13 when this happened, I did not know it was wrong.
I hope that you do find it in yourself to forgive yourself for the things that you have done in the past, that you own those things, and that you dedicate your life to doing what you need to do to stay straight and do the right thing. All right, we got to take a break. Next, Melinda's father is here as well. I want to hear what he has to say when we come back. Well, we're back, and I'm talking with Michelle, her daughter Melinda, who's dating a sex offender. Melinda's father, Robert, is here. Where do you come down on this? Are you concerned about your granddaughter?
Absolutely. When I found out he was dating Melinda, I lost it.
You absolutely, unequivocally, must recognize that he is a higher risk individual than the general population.
I do understand that.
I don't perceive that he is in any intense therapy at this point, because if he was, and it was quality, he would have been saying to me what I was saying to him, which means he is undertreated and undermanaged in this situation for me. And you guys, come on. We have a child here. We have a granddaughter here for you, a daughter for you, that didn't pick this unit. They just got assigned to this unit. And you owe it to them to stop this tug of war. If you are behaving in an immature and impulsive way with your daughter, that needs to stop. This family needs help. This family needs an intervention, and I am willing to provide that if y'all are willing to participate in that and give you the help that you need. Will you participate in that? Do you need that help?
Yes, I do.
Do you need that help?
Absolutely.
Do you need that help?
Most definitely.
Okay, well, then we've got a plan. Thanks for being here today. So long. I'm going to get you some help with this, but you need to take it. Are you going to do it?
I'm just not satisfied with today at all.
Well, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I want to have this conversation. You say you're not satisfied with today at all. Mm-hmm. Tell me what you're not satisfied with.
Because my whole point is that everything that goes on with this family is beyond this Jack thing right now. That my mom is controlling everything in my life, or trying to. You want me to give examples?
No, I am stunned to hear what you are saying. I get the 4 issues that are going on here. The clear and present danger that needed to be assessed and evaluated in the interest of your daughter was what we focused on today. And the truth is, I didn't come here to satisfy you. I came here to protect your daughter.
No, and
And if what you want to do is have an attitude about it and a chip on your shoulder, then we can handle this differently, and I will just report this. I will just report all of this and let people deal with it.
Can I please talk? No, what
it's not fair. What is not fair?
The parent, I'm constantly being parented on how I'm supposed to parent. Everything is very difficult for me.
Well, you know how I look at this? I look at this like somebody calls and says the house is on fire, it's burning, and you answer the front door and said, I'd like to talk about fire prevention. Well, you know what? I don't want to talk about fire prevention until we get the fire out. When you get the fire out, then we can talk about fire prevention. You needed a clear assessment of what's going on here. And I didn't come in and give you a histrionic response. I gave you the facts here and informed you as a mother. And if you cared about your daughter, and I believe you do, then you would be real interested in everything that took place here today instead of pouting that we didn't cover all of your agenda. Because your agenda about this mother here, I went through an entire list of things that this woman is controlling about. I get it. I then acknowledged this. I criticized her for doing things such as manipulating a birthday party when you were at work and can't get there. I had an entire list of inventory I could go over with you as your bad behavior as a mother. I chose not to do that. I did deal with your sister because she's getting pushed out of the picture here when in fact she clearly has open wounds and feeling like she is a second-class citizen in this family with her victimization. So we took time and talked about that. I'm glad you were here so we could do that. And then I talked across, tweeted at Dr. Phill, God help us all. Out comes my Klonopin for this show. AK41 tweeted, At Dr. Phill, just deleted my mom's scheduled recordings. At Collude, returning to your show trumps everything else. Sorry, Mom. Now, if you haven't guessed it by now, she's back. One of our most controversial mother-in-laws of all time is here today, and it is no surprise that viewers are chomping at the bit to give her a piece of their mind. Collude first caught viewers' attention 3 years ago when she called her own son-in-law a dumbass on national television. She even had it in her phone, which I looked at. She spelled it wrong. But it was in there. Viewers have already been tweeting up a storm, and some will even participate in studio today via Polycom. If you also want to join the discussion, you can tweet me at Dr. Phill, #Collude. God, is that what it's come to? Before I bring her out here, let me catch you up on where we left off with Collude and her clan. Take a look.
At least I speak up.
Well, yes, you do.
And there's a lot of people who want to, but they don't have the to say it.
Honest to God, seriously, do you think I don't know how to conduct an interview?
No, I know you do.
Okay, then let me do it. Because you may
Just
think...
get to the point. She's not showing respect in my home. She's getting heavy because she's not doing anything.
Shut your stupid mouth for 5 minutes.
I wouldn't have to
No.
control anything if they show respect.
I
in
think
my
you
home.
would argue with a statue.
Nope.
Collude is arrogant, ignorant, loudmouth, no filter, thoughtless, heartless, careless, compassionateless. She's just ruthless.
My daughter deserves better. Why should she be the breadwinner? I think he's a dumbass. He's a loser. He is what he is.
Actually have him programmed into your cell phone as
Sure it
dumbass.
is. Yep, because that's what he is.
You did spell it wrong, by the way.
I know. My husband and I have been married for 31 years. Because of all this stress and the situation, we're actually living totally apart.
God, help me. Just help me.
Since I have been on Dr. Phil's show, I have won. I have control of everything. Val and Steven are moving in my house today to be under my roof.
You actually got them to move back into your house.
My house.
My mom promised that she would respect my husband.
If I could keep an eye on that dumbass. I'm very excited.
She promised that she would not interfere with our marriage and she would give us our space.
Fallon and Steven do not contribute anything.
Is the plan that y'all are going to continue to live with her?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
My husband and I bought them a townhouse to get them out of here. And guess what? They're living here still. Honestly, I wish and hope that one day you could come there and just live 24 hours.
If they gave me a choice and said you can go spend 24 hours in that home, or you can get in a phone booth with an alligator and sandpaper its ass,
No, you'd be with me.
I would be in the phone booth. I never got to sandpaper that alligator's ass, but I did fly to Detroit, Michigan, and paid them all a house call. This was a door knock I will never forget. I cannot believe I'm actually driving down Collude's street.
Stop! Right here, Dr. Phill! Right here!
Yes, Susie.
What the hell?
I think if we unscrewed the top of your head and looked in, it would scare the out of everybody. They go,
my
holy
God.
guacamole.
Collude and I argue a lot. We argue a lot.
And you
because-
started, not me.
Well, because they shouldn't be living here. And no matter
But they're
what
your
I-
kids.
It's very clear to me, you are addicted to the drama. You are
My God.
If you didn't have this to complain about, I think you would be bored to death.
You're all getting on my nerves because they're living like filth in my home. No, honestly, they're driving me nuts. Seriously, they are
Driving
driving me
you nuts. You think it's crazy to you? You should see it from my point of view.
That's
I'm
why I
sitting
wanted
at
you to come.
Collude's dinner table with 3 dogs and this bunch trying to tell me that you want them to leave and you don't. Listen,
I don't break
expected to come in here and find blood splattered all over half the walls. I don't know how you people don't kill each other. You need to get out of here. You need to make the break. Move out. Go get on your own. You're 27. You don't want to move. You don't want them to move. I rest my case.
I've got an idea. You and Steve are not allowed here for 1 month.
Jerry, you have actually a really good idea. You guys should go to the townhouse for a month.
And I'm going to have this house immaculate and
That's
everything.
right. It'll be clean.
Okay.
And I want a video of the clean house. I want to see it clean. You cannot mother them for 30 days. You want the audience to know that it's not you that's creating all this drama. It's not you that creates all this. Now they're going to know. Because if you break the deal in the next 30 days, everybody in America is going to know you
are the problem.
No, I know I'm not the problem.
I admit they live
and
like
I want
pigs.
the audience to apologize to me because I'm not the mean person.
Apologize
yes,
to you?
because they all call me names. I'm not a good mom and this and that.
You got something to prove over the
I'm
next
gonna
30
prove
days.
it.
Well, since then, one of these 4 people walked away from the family. Who do you think it is? Well, it's an unexpected update that may throw some viewers for a loop. Take a look.
Things got worse since Dr. Phill showed up here at the house, and I'm not happy about it. Fallon and Stephen moved out right after Dr. Phill told them to move in November. Now, Fallon has gotten really bad, and her marriage failed. I feel I'm always at odds with Fallon, and she's gone downhill. The way she's starting to look, the dress, not eating right. She's living in her own condo. She's always alone. She's always sleeping. I'm not surprised one bit that Stephen and Fallon's marriage failed. Didn't even make it 2 years to the marriage, for God's sake. So, yeah, he's a mistake. So, Dr. Phill, I want to show you what I did to Fallon's wedding pictures. I took all the wedding pictures down of him and Fallon. I did that to all the pictures of dumbass. The devil's gone. When I found out that Fallon and Stephen were getting divorced, I was happy. I'm finally getting rid of his dumbass. If she had just listened to us, this would never happened. Honestly, that was the worst mistake of her life.
A lot has changed since I last saw Khulud, but one thing that has not changed is her attitude. She still has a bone to pick with me. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Well, if she puts me in her phone, I hope she spells it right, whatever it is. We'll talk to her when we come back. Do you talk to the viewers on the message boards?
They piss me off, I will.
What's the worst thing you've said to a viewer?
And later,
Bring Khulud back out, please.
The reason I have to go to her house?
Would you wait till you at least get up
I just want to
here
let you know,
before you
the reason
start
I go to
arguing?
her house is because she doesn't text her mother back
The
or call her
reason
to let me know that she was okay.
No.
People are very wrong about me. Like, I'm a bitch, I'm overbearing, I'm overprotective, I'm nosy. No, I'm none of those. I just want to make sure my daughter's okay.
Well, I said my Twitter account was blowing up during this show. During the break, BGirl081 tweeted the most aggressive, overbearing, infuriating person I've ever seen. I'm sure Khulud will have something to say about that when she joins us. Remember, you can also join the conversation by tweeting me at Dr. Phill, #Khulud. But first, let's hear her gripes about me. I can't wait.
I have a big bone to pick with Dr. Phill. He promised to help us in 30 days. I waited for Dr. Phill to call me after the 30 days. He never did. Fallon needed help. So I start texting the producers. Every time something happens to me with Stephen or if he said something, so instead of me hurting him, I was texting and writing and calling the producers because I didn't want to end up in jail.
What do you mean you're right and I'm wrong?
That's what I said. You didn't keep your word. You didn't keep your word when you said 30 days, and we really needed you at that point with my daughter.
You didn't do the 30-day plan.
Yeah, we did.
No,
we did more than 30 days, Dr. Phill.
No,
Just
let's
admit
take
you
a
were
look at what I said about the 30-day plan. Take a look. You guys should go to the townhouse for a month. Seriously, do not sleep here for a month. Don't bathe here, don't shower here. Do it for 30 days.
Can they eat here at least?
No.
Just do that.
You cannot feed them for 30 days. You cannot do their laundry for 30 days. You cannot mother them for 30 days.
Okay, we're going to try it, and I'm going to have this house immaculate and
That's
everything.
right. It'll be clean.
Okay.
And I want a video of the clean house. I want to see it clean.
For once.
Admit what?
Everybody makes mistakes.
Who?
You made a mistake.
Oh,
okay? Just
I
say you're
admit
wrong.
that.
Just be a big boy and say it. I know when I make a mistake, I say I made a mistake. Well, I didn't make a mistake in this one. I was right.
What mistake have you made?
The only mistake I made is that the dumbass and Fallon, we threw a big wedding, and I didn't want to do that because I knew that she's going to end up divorced. I said it all along. I didn't like him or his family.
You wanted that to happen.
Well, because I was right. He is a dumbass. He's a loser. He didn't keep his words.
How do you know that their relationship wouldn't have worked if you had butted out of it and left them there? They shouldn't have never. They should have never moved in with you.
You're not in my shoes. You don't know what was going on.
I told you you shouldn't have them move back to your house, and you said it was the biggest coup ever. You got them to move into your house. You were cheering on camera.
That's right,
I got him to move back in.
I knew what kind of person he was.
Do you talk to the viewers on the message boards?
Oh, they piss me off. I will.
What's the worst thing you've said to a viewer?
There's a lot.
I got a beat button. Go ahead. What's the worst thing you've said to a viewer?
You're not living in my shoes.
Well,
or I can't remember, but there was a lot of.
I wanted the viewers to participate today.
Oh,
we have a viewer, Jennifer, who tweeted, "Khulud needs to take binoculars off of her family and turn them on herself." Says you need to take the binoculars off your family and turn them on yourself.
Nope, I have no issues. I have no problems. I have no issues. I'm fine. I have nothing.
Well,
I'm perfect.
Okay, flip Jennifer up on Polly. I want to see this tweeter.
First of all, does she have a daughter? Only one daughter?
She can hear you and she can see you.
Jennifer, do you have one daughter, or how many kids do you have, or even if you have kids?
I have kids. And the fact that you never make a mistake?
Nope.
Says something.
No, you have an issue. You might have a lot of mistakes and issues, but I don't.
Okay, now
I have one daughter I live with, and he is a dumbass and always will be, and I seen through it, and Dr. Phill didn't. And none of the audience are seeing that. I don't understand that. Seriously, I don't understand that.
How do you know that she's an idiot? You just met her.
Because she's saying stupid things. She doesn't even know me. So what am I doing wrong?
Well, you know what? You're a pretty lady, and I think that you just express yourself in a negative light, and you need to turn the binoculars on yourself and take a look at what's going on the inside.
I don't care what people think of me. I don't care how they feel about me. I know how I feel about myself. I'm a very positive person. I say it like it is. I have one daughter, and I live with her and the dumbass.
Is there anyone she could have brought home that you would have been happy with?
Yeah, just somebody with a job. I don't care if he was a trash man. I have respect for everybody. Well,
you just respected me after
okay, and I apologize. I'm a bigger person. I apologize. I'm just upset because all these people are thinking that I'm really a bad person, and I'm not a bad person.
All right, well, let's take
apologize.
Let's take a break. Fallon wrote me a heartfelt letter in the summer and wants to talk to me alone.
But don't believe everything. Because I have to be here and I'll tell you everything, honest to God.
You can watch. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Since the last time we were in the show, things have definitely gotten worse. Steve and I did separate. Steve wasn't willing to work it out. He told me I needed to figure out how to work it out. It was all on me.
And later,
your girlfriends and everybody else, you text them right back. Don't tell me no because I watch Facebook. She calls every
Khulud, Irene, Betty, do you answer to anything?
Nope. I'm very concerned about Fallon. I drive by her house 2 to 3 times a week. What I do is I wait there to make sure she pulls up or something. If I have to sit 2 hours, I will sit 2 hours in my car just to make sure she's okay.
Okay, you just saw self-admitted monster-in-law, Khulud, staking out her daughter Fallon's condo. She's staking it out. Now, I have asked Khulud to step off stage so I can speak to Fallon alone. Khulud's daughter says she experienced huge life-changing events in the last year and a half. Take a look.
Since the last time we were in the show, things have definitely gotten worse.
Surprise!
Steve and I moved out the weekend that Dr. Phill had visited us. We officially moved into the townhouse. Steve and I were trying to make the house a home for ourselves and tried being married and being on our own. And it was just kind of more real life, and it was hard. My mom would break the 30-day agreement by coming to the house when I wasn't here. Since the 30-day period, Steve and I did separate. Right now, waiting for a court date for the divorce. My primary issue with Steve was that he didn't want to spend the time with me that I wanted. We would argue a lot about how much time we spent together. Steve wasn't willing to work it out. When Steve and I separated, I needed to be away from everyone. I was definitely shutting my parents out. My mom still would send me messages that she was going to go to the hospital because she was so stressed out and her asthma was getting bad. She would try to guilt trip me into talking to her by saying that her health was at risk, or she would she would come to the house and I would hear her and I wouldn't let her in. She'd be knocking on the doors and the dog would go nuts or something, and I still would just ignore her. I needed to be alone.
If separating from her husband wasn't hard enough, Fallon also found out that her dream of having children is just not in the cards. Take a look.
The whole IVF process is a very invasive process. It's not natural and it's very expensive. It was very lonely for me. I would leave my doctor's appointments and I would cry on my way to work. I had always envisioned being a family and raising children. I think if Steve and I were able to conceive our own child, we would still be together. After the IVF failed, I decided I didn't want to go again. I didn't even go for a follow-up appointment because I knew my body and I knew I didn't want to put my body through this again. Steve was very disappointed that I gave up. I'm still dealing with the fact that I can't have my own. It sucks because since I was like 18, that's all I wanted was to be able to have my own. And I may never be a mom.
And I want to share with all of you and you at home some of the excerpts from Fallon's original email that she sent to me this summer. That's okay with you
Absolutely.
now, right? She said, Dr. Phill, this is Fallon, Crazy Khaloud's daughter. Steve and I are separated. He moved out almost 3 weeks ago. I've come to the conclusion that I will never harbor another living human being now. My whole life has changed. A lot of my issues were created by the way my mother has raised and treated me. She's controlling, intrusive, doesn't know boundaries, overbearing. I am turning into my mother. I am writing to you because I really do want help. Mm-hmm. When you say you will never harbor another human being in your life, tell me what your thoughts and feelings were as you wrote that.
I don't want to cry. It's just the realization that, like, I won't be able to bear my own child. I won't be able to carry my baby for 9 months and then one day look into their eyes and see my own eyes. It's just a reality that I had to come to. So.
I'm very sorry about that because I know that that was something that is important to you, and I know that you will have children in your life and
one day
you'll love them.
Adoption's never out of the,
Yeah, I mean, you'll love them the same. You say you are becoming your mother. How is that?
When Steve and I separated, I went through that dark period where I was doing a lot of self-reflection on what I did wrong in the marriage. And I do think that I was controlling. I was trying to control his time to be with me.
Well, Fallon says that her mother calls her sometimes 20 times a day, and she does not return her calls. But her mother is here, and she's been watching this backstage. We're going to bring her back out here next. We're going to talk about where this relationship is headed. The reason you go to house is because you don't respect boundaries.
No, I respect
The reason you go to house is because you're
daughter.
sneaking around
She
bugging
doesn't
your
call
daughter.
me. If she
You're like the
called me,
crazy
I would
stalker
back out.
woman.
Nope.
And later.
Do you even know what that means?
Well, now I do. What does it mean?
What does it
you
mean?
put your head
She
in the
did
booth.
not know what that
I don't know.
So you've never been motorboated?
meant. If she did, she didn't know what the hell it was.
Fallon says her mom is intrusive and she wants her to respect her boundaries and stop coming to her house uninvited. Well, Khaloud has her own plans about this. You need to watch this real close.
Look what I have. Fallon's house key. I kind of made a copy without her knowing about it. I go there about 2 to 3 times a week just to make sure my daughter's okay. I'm sure she knows that I'm there. I mean, I gotta let the dog out, nobody else does. Because she's never home. She's either at work, school, or bar hopping or something. Oh, I got it. I see poop here, I pick it up. So anyway, I have before and after pictures. Still a mess. but I help Steven clean all this, okay? And put all this out. That's what I do all the time to make sure he's clean and everything else. She'd rather be outside, having a good time, drinking, not being with her family, not doing what she's supposed to do. I think that's bad. Really? This. That's not his family. This is her bedroom. It's nice and neat after dumbass left. I'm going to tell you something. Her house is so much nicer and neater and cleaner, right? This is dumbass's mess in his room, Dr. Phill. Okay, you've seen Fallon's, right? This is what, I can't even open this door. This is what kind of a mess, I'm telling you, he was. Phallon threw everything, all his junk, out of this window. Everything. I like that, actually. I don't nosy around. I don't do any of that. I don't snoop around. Wine bottles, 2 empty ones, so Dr. Phill could see this. I opened the fridge. I thought I'd see food, but instead, liquor. Liquor everywhere. And I'm taking pictures for you, Dr. Phill. What the hell is this? Empty. Look. So, Dr. Phill, do you think she needs help? See, he's hungry. That's why he's eating so fast. I worry about him. That's why I come here mostly, because Fallon's an adult, but I really worry about him. I don't have grandkids, but I have grand dogs.
Yeah, that dog really looks underfed. Bring Khulud back out, please.
Everything I've done so you could see that, so it wasn't my fault. And the reason I have to go to her house.
Would you wait till you at least get up here?
I just want to let you know,
before you
the reason
start
I go to her house is because she doesn't text her mother back or call her to let me know that she was okay.
No.
The reason,
I want to correct some of your sentences as you say them.
Okay.
That's the only way to do it. You said the reason I go to her house is because blah, 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 blah. The reason you go to her house is because you don't respect boundaries.
No, I respect
boundaries. The reason you go to her house is because you're sneaking around bugging your daughter.
You're
like the crazy stalker woman.
Nope. If she would have texted me one time or called me, I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have issues.
You don't call or text one time. You call like
because
10
you don't
times.
Answer me back.
I can't help it if I'm at work or at a movie.
But your girlfriends and everybody else, you text them right back. Don't tell me no because I watch Facebook. And you're always, I don't care. Within a minute, she calls every. No.
Khulud. Irene. Betty, do you answer to anything?
Nope.
Khulud, let me tell you something. I have stalkers on the police watch list.
I'm not a stalker.
That don't bug me as much as you bug her.
No. If she would have called me or tell Mom I'm okay, I'm doing. That's all. She doesn't have to talk to me.
I don't have to tell you
I
every day.
understand what you're going through. Every day. But I'm the one who warned you about the dumbass.
Why do I have to talk to you every day?
She doesn't want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to her every day. I just want to make sure she's okay.
You cannot.
No, you're lying. You're lying, not me.
You cannot go like 10 minutes without talking.
Because you're not texting me back or calling me back.
Do I have to call you?
She's never with family. She's disconnected herself. Because of the dumbass. She was close to me,
He's
my
gone.
family.
You told me at one point that if he was gone, that a hush would fall over your life. That there would be peace. That there would be tranquility across the land.
Nope.
He's gone and you're still yapping.
Well, I have to worry about the dog. I wish you guys know. Do you like animals? Do you want to see the animal not getting fed?
Mom,
not being spending time? Even because they don't speak. The animals can't speak.
No crap, they can't speak.
You went downhill.
Really? Was my place look nice?
Okay,
I'm just reading. Look at that one room he left you.
I'm just reading some of it, so you get feedback from. I'm just reading some of the tweets that are coming in live right now. Jack Blackwell Yale said, "If Khulud was my mother, I'd drink too, and I'm not a drinker." What the heck, Khulud? You made a copy of her house key? They're outraged.
She doesn't know how to live her life. If she knew how to live her life, Dr. Phill, she wouldn't have married the dumbass.
Hold it. These are Khulud's complaints about you. Never listened to her parents when they told her not to marry the dumbass. Doesn't call or text her mom when she reaches out to her. Rude, sarcastic, doesn't treat Khulud like her mom. Currently dating Khulud, afraid she will pick another loser.
You guys gotta agree
Still
with me.
has pictures of Dumbass and his family in her home. Keeps in touch with Dumbass and his family and friends. Doesn't spend enough time with her only 3 grandparents, goddaughter or brother. Doesn't spend enough time with the dogs.
You don't.
Drinking too much and eating fast food only. Doesn't eat what mom makes and takes to her home. It just gets old.
It turns to
Post
mold.
her entire life on Facebook. God, I'm glad that list is over.
She wants me to cook and she doesn't eat.
Jerry
Why
the
would you
father
lie?
says he is the mediator in this brewing battle between his wife and daughter. Find out why he believes both of them need to just chill out.
Oh my God.
Khulud keeps on trying to butt into Fallon's life, trying to tell her what to do, and she's just not letting her be the adult that she really is. Now, the relationship between my daughter and my wife is gone into a death spiral.
I'm very worried that Fallon made me think about going back to Stephen. I'm really concerned about that. And it'll be over my dead body if she does. Yeah, either going to be in prison or have a heart attack.
Jerry says his wife Khulud constantly accuses him of not caring about their daughter Fallon.
It's true.
But he just has a different philosophy on how to handle her. Take a look.
Oh, jeez.
In each of the past episodes on Dr. Phill, we've gotten progressively better as a family. But now, relationship between my daughter and my wife is gone into a death spiral. And it's really sad. Khulud keeps on trying to butt into Fallon's life, trying to tell her what to do, and she's just not letting her be the adult that she really is. I'm not comfortable at all forcing my opinions or my thoughts or what I believe is the best thing on my daughter. I'll try to reinforce if I think it's really important, but in the end, she has to make her own decisions, and I just need to be there to help her if she needs it. Khulud constantly barrages Fallon with phone calls, with texts, with emails. Khulud needs to give Fallon her space.
In the last month, I've been living the single life. I've been going out a lot.
It is too soon for Fallon to date. There's no reason for her to rush.
I am being much more picky with dating than I was in the past.
She picked one loser. I'm afraid she's going to do the same again.
With online dating, you can be a lot pickier. I'm just meeting the guy. It's not saying I'm going to go and marry him. I told her that I was not going to tell her about any more dates because I don't want to hear her opinion.
I heard through the Facebook that she's dating. I'm very, very concerned. Jerry, come here. This is why I hate Facebook.
What the hell is that?
What's he looking at?
I'm so annoyed with my mom right now because in today's world, everything is internet. I can't avoid it. If I avoid it, I'm not going to meet anybody.
Who the hell is it?
I don't know. It says, why have you been missing from my life? See what he's looking at? Boobs. He wants to motorboat them. What the hell is that?
It's crazy what you can do now to find a person online.
I'm disappointed in her.
It really bothers me that my mom doesn't trust my instincts or my judgment on the people that I let enter my life. Back in her day, I'm sure her mom and father weren't happy about her meeting a guy at the bar.
What was she saying on Facebook that you think's so terrible?
Letting a guy look at her boobs, say motorboat, whatever the hell it is.
You're saying it didn't happen.
Never let people look at.
He
Look at
didn't.
the picture.
Okay,
He
here's
didn't-
a picture of a guy, of my friend, was funny. He was looking at my boobs, and then my mom goes, why is he looking at your boobs on Facebook? And I go, he
So
said
what?
he wanted to motorboat me as a joke, and she like lost it.
But why would you say that? Why would you say
Do you
that?
even know what that means?
Well, now I do.
What does it mean?
What does it
You
mean?
put your head
She
in the
did
boobs.
not know what that
I don't know. Hell if I know. It doesn't sound right.
So you've
But there's no reason for that.
you've never been motorboated. Come on, Jerry.
means. If she did, she didn't know what the hell it was.
Okay. How are you two getting along?
Fine.
Actually, since the 30 days, and by the way, just to make the record straight, for the 30 days, we actually did fully follow 30 days. The stuff you're talking about happened
No, we did, Fallon. Don't say no.
after
You're a
the
liar.
separation where
Nope.
she started really checking up on her and worrying about her.
Because she-
So the 30 days of letting her
You're
be
drunk, you don't
completely
even know if
independent,
somebody's raping you or not.
you let her do it, right? You just 30 days you didn't have anything to do with her.
No.
Right? You didn't leave food on her doorstep.
No, I did not.
No, it's in my fridge.
No, I did not.
Wait, she's got you on a technicality because she didn't see her.
Nope, I
Did you,
didn't.
but
didn't
did you go in and
see
put
each
food in your
Yes.
refrigerator?
There'd be cans missing because my mom would take the cans of like pop cans and leave me change.
Well, because she's got bags like this.
I didn't have
What do
bags
is
like this.
Yes, you
No,
do.
I didn't.
All beer.
Those are my friends' beer.
So
Now
during
I
that
can't.
30
It's
days,
still
you were
there.
using that key and going into her house and collecting
I
cans?
take care of the, no.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
cleaning.
Yep.
I'm cleaning. I'm making sure the dog is okay. I'm making sure she's got food in her fridge.
Wasn't the plan for her to live independently
Okay,
on
but at
her
least
own?
call your mother once a week or once Couple
Once
weeks.
a week? I
No
can't go
buts
once
about
a
it.
week.
You did not.
All the time.
You did not.
I know, you call me.
Not even a text back.
Why would I text you?
Just tell me you're okay, for God's sake.
I'm okay. If I was okay an hour ago, I'm okay an hour
But
later.
you don't tell me that. You didn't tell me that.
No.
She could go a month without talking
I
to me.
was in a movie theater and I had like 8 missed calls,
Like
6
I said,
text messages.
I see it on Facebook. I know what she does. But you could go on
I didn't
this.
check it. I didn't check in on
Can I
Facebook.
intervene here for a second?
Go ahead, but it's not going to help because you still haven't said sorry.
I haven't said sorry about what?
Because you made a mistake and just admit it for once.
I made a mistake about what?
And said sorry. Just because you didn't come and check on us the 30 days that you promised us.
You didn't do the. First off, I did not tell you I was coming back after 30 days. I have it on tape. You didn't honor the 30 days.
I did.
You did not.
I didn't see her.
There's something I want.
We used
I
to
want
be
Fallon to
close.
hear when we come back. We'll be right back.
We used to be close. Fallon doesn't treat me like a mom. She doesn't answer my calls. She doesn't return texts. She doesn't return messages. Nothing. My communication with Fallon, I don't have any. He's just completely taken her down. Oh, God, I said I'm not going to cry. Because what you didn't listen to us, and I hate that dumbass.
You just said you hate
and
me?
I swear to God, if I ever see him and don't edit this, I will run his ass off. Because I hate him that
geez.
much. And don't edit that.
Anyway.
Will you let me talk to her for a
Go
second?
ahead.
Without butting in?
I'm going to not promise, but I'm going to try.
There's one question that you would like to ask me. What is it?
So, since I'm dating, I don't know how to introduce a guy to her.
And don't introduce him to me.
I don't know how
because
to.
I don't want to see him.
I don't know how. Like,
Nope.
I really am afraid of ever bringing a guy home.
Because all you do is
Mom,
be
shut
losers.
up.
No, don't
This
say.
is my point.
Do
I
not
can't-
say shut up.
You're not trying.
But I'm just telling you, she's.
Okay, go
It's
ahead.
just I want to find someone eventually, and I
a
feel
bar?
emotionally ready. Mom, stop it.
All right. I'm going to answer her question, and I'm going to give you some advice. Do you want my advice, or you just
Well,
want
it
to talk
depends
to
if
her?
it's right or not, because you still haven't apologized.
We asked the viewers on Twitter the following question: should I apologize to collude? The results?
Unbelievable. After what she went through and I was right, and you guys both were wrong, and you knew I was right, I still don't get an apology.
What were
Something's
you
wrong.
right about?
You guys are both wrong about the dumbass.
So does that mean you don't want my advice?
I do want your advice. I wouldn't be here. But it's not helping. She's still the same
haven't
person.
heard it yet.
Okay, go ahead.
You want a connection with your daughter.
Yeah.
You want to have reassurance that she's okay. And if she starts a new relationship, you're going to look with great interest to see whether or not she's kind of following a pattern or if she's setting a high standard.
She's
because you want the best for her.
That's all I've been
Right?
asking for.
And that is all reasonable. Any mother would want that. Any father would want that. Now, here's the advice. What you want is right and reasonable. The way you go about trying to get it is self-destructive.
If she
Your
doesn't
idea,
answer
listen,
me,
I'm
what do you want
talking,
to
you're
do?
listening.
Okay.
If you're so smart, how come this relationship is so in the ditch? You should consider changing something. You could,
I did.
If you
I mean, for
want a
30 days,
different
what do you want me
result,
to do?
choose a different behavior.
Okay, so I should not make sure the dog is
Don't be
taken care of,
sarcastic
make
and
sure-
condescending.
No, but I'm just saying.
Don't be
I'm just
sarcastic
saying,
and
I'm just saying
condescending.
what you're asking
No,
me.
you're setting up a
So I
paper
shouldn't be
tiger and tearing it
calling her
down.
For a month. I don't know if she's dead. She's
That's a
drunk on the
paper
street.
tiger. You're setting
Do you
up
read
a
the news?
ridiculous.
Dr. Phil, I'm sure you read the news.
You're setting up a
I'm sure you
ridiculous
read the news,
example.
you watch the news.
You
All
either-
these girls are missing, guys are missing.
Collude. You either want to be happy or you want to be right, and those aren't
I
always
want
the same
both,
thing.
because I know I'm right.
But they're
and I'm
not always the same thing. You can set up an extreme. Okay, so I'm not supposed to call her for a month. No.
What do you want me to do? My only daughter.
I'll tell you if you'll listen.
Okay.
I want you to allow her to contact you. I want you to.
She's not doing it. I'm telling you, Dr. Phil.
Okay.
I know her.
Talk to me. I'll listen to you.
Oh my God! Oh my God! All these
Mom,
people.
he's talking.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Unless
They don't
it's-
even know. But go ahead.
Okay, you didn't want to talk to me. At least
I'm
let me talk
listening,
to
though.
her.
I'm listening, and I respect
Okay.
it. But
All
I
right.
know my daughter. She won't do it.
Okay. Your question was, I'm scared to bring anybody home.
She should be.
You should be. We agree. We agree on that. We agree on that
all
because
she does is bring losers.
Because right now,
all that wedding money.
Your mother is seeing things in a really dysfunctional way, and she would find fault with him unless she picked him.
No.
So here's the point.
It's not true. Don't clap because
what
it's
you
not
need
true.
to understand
Don't clap.
is that you need to be independent, and you need to understand that her getting information about your life is a privilege. It's not a responsibility. If you have a caring heart, and you do, then you will recognize that despite the fact that I disagree with just about every single thing she does, I actually see past all of that and recognize that she is a very loving and caring woman and truly wants the best for you.
Thank you.
She really is. She just doesn't have an edit button. She doesn't know how to pump the brake on her mouth.
I just
tried.
No, she doesn't try.
Okay.
I went on one date.
It's too close to the divorce. She's not even divorced. You guys even know that? She's not even divorced.
They're legally separated.
Let her talk to them.
Who said so? A young girl?
If you've decided that you want to start dating,
divorced?
then start dating. Absolutely. You should do that. You're 28. You can do that if you want to. What I would hope is that you would do an autopsy on this last relationship that has died and say, okay, what went wrong here? What did I do that I can do better?
Yeah.
Because that will inform what I do in the future. And right now, if you're dating someone, you shouldn't take them home until this settles down.
No,
and you're not ready to be taking somebody home to meet mama anyway.
And she shouldn't be dating.
All right, next, we're going to talk to some of our tweeters who say they can't wait to face off with Collude. Every time Collude appears on the show, viewers go to the message boards on drphil.com to voice their opinions. This time, viewers have gotten to talk and tweet to Collude live.
Kathy, I can handle the truth.
Here's what Libby tweeted. I wonder if #Collude will ever start thinking more like a mom and less like a kid who needs all the attention.
That's what's wrong with this world. Their parents are not like
So, Libby, are you there?
I'm here, Dr. Phill.
What'd you want to say to Collude?
Okay, so Collude, aren't you so tired? Aren't you just so tired of trying to control everything?
Libby, not to disrespect you, but I'm not controlling anything. Nope, I'm not. I just want my daughter to be happy because she picked loser after loser after loser. She doesn't tell you that dating was, every guy she brought was a loser.
Let her.
She married. Why?
Okay, she's 28 years old.
It doesn't matter. That's not right. No, that's not right. That is not right, Libby.
All right, it looks like Rodney sides with Collude. He tweeted, Dear Collude, please tell me tomorrow you will dismiss the drama that is Fallon.
Thank you.
Really? Rodney, what are you saying?
I'm saying that, come on, Fallon's old enough